Hey guys, welcome back to Fix It TV, and today we're coming to you with another video about Interbellum, the private Warhammer server, which will be launching at some point. And today we're going to look at the morals, which have been renamed into Adrenaline. Let's go and have a look. The morale mechanism from the previous versions of the game has been replaced with a new system called Adrenaline. There are some similarities. Basically, there's one similarity. Everything else is pretty much different, and that is that you're still going to have 4 skills as you had before. Instead of morale points, you're going to need adrenaline points. Here's an example of the cost, more or less. These numbers may change when the server is released, but you can see there's a scalable amount of resource that you require from 360 to 3600 for morale 1, adrenaline 2, adrenaline 3, and so on and so forth. The major changes are the following. First of all, there's no real cooldown for these skills anymore. Their cooldown is actually the amount of time that it takes you to generate the adrenaline. The other difference is that the previous version of morale was undefendable. In this new system, adrenaline skills can be dodged and blocked, and pretty much everything that has to do with the adrenaline system is mitigatable in one way or the other. That doesn't mean that now these are not good skills to use. This simply means that the adrenaline skills are still quite powerful, but this power does not come from being undefendable. We're going to see more details in the future, but the fact that there is no a win button is a good thing in my book. Also, on the previous system, when you used 1 morale, you lost all the morale, and then if you use a morale 1, you lost 2 and 3, even if you had more points there. In the adrenaline system, you only consume the amount of adrenaline points you require, which means that if you have 900 points, for example, and slot 1 or level 1 adrenaline requires, I don't know, 300 or something like that, then you press it, you have only used 300 points, you still have 600, which means that you can spam level 1 adrenaline skills. Now, being spammed, right, doesn't mean that you're going to win something, because level 1 is going to be weak, level 2 is going to be more powerful, level 3 even more, level 4 the most power you can get. So you may be able to spam low level adrenaline skills because you have accumulated a lot of points, but it doesn't mean that you are going to be super powerful. We'll see how powerful every slot is going to be when they release the server. Now, how fast can you get the adrenaline? Because already people are formulating in their heads like, oh, I want to have an adrenaline thing, there's no cooldown, I can spam skills, and so on and so forth. There is a certain amount you can generate, and that is the base value plus 4 adrenaline per second when you go into combat, with maximum and minimum minus 36 or plus 36. This means that you will not have the ability or effects in the game that's going to give you 100 or 300 per second just to pump that number up. There will be classes, as before, which can help you increase adrenaline gain or debuff the enemy from gaining it, and that's where the minus 36 and minimum minus 36 and maximum plus 36 comes into play. So although you'll be able to spam this, you're also going to have, let's say, for example, 10, 20, 15, 100 seconds to get to each adrenaline skill slot with a maximum plus 36 at maximum, fully buff from other people on your own skills. And I don't know if there's going to be anything on the gear, which I don't think so. You're still going to have 100 seconds to get to adrenaline skill slot 4. So you do have a little bit of a cooldown there. And they're going to be powerful, and they want to make it sure, they're going to make sure that you invest enough, a significant investment, so you take that gain. It's not going to be given easily, it's not going to be given free. So we're going to have to see how that's going to work out, because a lot of people already, like I said earlier, trying to formulate builds how they're going to spam those skills non-stop, which I don't think is going to be a thing. They did a little calculation, the devs, because this is a dangerous part of the game. I mean, you're having a spammable, powerful mechanism which doesn't require you to use your action points, how powerful it's going to be. But according to what they say is that you're going to be using it and still is going to be 5% or less of your overall abilities used. So it seems like they've done the math, and I was a little bit worried about this, not just for the morale system, the new adrenaline system, but for other things as well, because they've changed pretty much everything. So I think that 5% or less on the overall ability usage comes to about how the previous system was working. Now we're going to go and see some of the new examples of the morale abilities, the new adrenaline abilities. As you can see, I'm still stuck calling the morale so many years. We're going to see some of those skills, but before we go on, please note, and this is from devs, that the names of these tactics have not gone through the lore master, and they will change and are going to be the same names. Possibly some of the numbers, maybe damage, cooldowns, will change in the future. These are examples. All right, here's some of the skills that we're possibly going to see when the server launches. Motivated, you gain 5 adrenaline per second while in combat. So 4, which is the base, plus 5, that's 9 adrenaline while you're in combat. They did set basis for, I don't know if this is actually a skill that we're going to be adding, or this is motivated is actually activated as soon as you enter combat. That needs a little bit of a clarification there. A little bit of clarification required on the next one, which is strength in numbers, which says whenever you use a basic attack, all group mates within 100 feet of you that also have this tactic, which means the whole group must have this tactic slotted, will gain a stack of a 5-second buff with a maximum of 5 stacks for the duration, gain 2 adrenaline per second per stack. So that's about 10 adrenaline per second if all 5 members have that tactic. So I don't know how exactly that's going to work. You know, I mean, every time you use an attack, so you can have a 5 stacks of 2, that is 10 adrenaline per second, almost permanently. I mean, you kind of spam attacks, so I'm not sure how that looks very powerful, but everybody has to waste a tactic for that. Maybe that's the trade-off. Uncontrolled, whenever unstoppable, inevitable, or immovable, pretty much when you're CC'd, is applied to you, you will gain 20 adrenaline per second for 5 seconds. Wow. That is a lot of adrenaline there. Party time. Whenever you use an ability, you will gain 2 stacks of rivalry. Whenever you critically hit, you will lose all stacks of rivalry. Rivalry, sorry if I don't pronounce that correctly, lasts for 5 seconds and stacks up to 15, and you gain 1 adrenaline per second per stack. So basically, use abilities but don't crit. That will give you a lot of adrenaline. I don't know, I mean, we love crit. I mean, it's a way of generating a lot of DPS. Stay in formation. Whenever you are attacked by an opponent that you have cover from, you will gain 10 adrenaline points per second for 3 seconds. Cover is something that it's brand new. Some classes have it, some classes don't have it, and it depends how, I don't know if it's going to be actually behind objects, but it's something that happens and then they can't hit you so much, more like a skill you can use. I'm not 100% clear, but it's something that we're going to have to explore when more information can be more available. Gotta go fast. You gain 1 stack of rivalry every second while moving. The duration of rivalry is reduced to 3 seconds. Do you even lift, bro? Your mass is increased by 1. Don't forget, mass is the crowd control ability, the new statistic, which either you can increase the duration or reduce the duration of crowd control abilities, depending if you are receiving one or you're giving one. Verge of victory. Whenever you land a killing blow, you will gain 20 adrenaline per second for 8 seconds. Whenever a groupmate with 100 feet of you lands a killing blow, you will gain 5 adrenaline per second for 8 seconds. So killing becomes good. You know, not just support as before, trying to apply the damage, but actually getting the killing blows. I suppose this will be a good tactic for some class that get a lot of kills, at least the way it was. Bright Wizards with the AoE, Slayers, Choppers, you know, massive AoE, spammable. They usually get a lot of killing blows. Or even Witch Elves and Witch Hunters. They're really bursty, so you can use them to generate more adrenaline. Masochist, whenever you are hit by an enemy ability and your guard is active, you gain 15 adrenaline per second for 3 seconds. Very good for tanks to generate that. Break loose, movement skills that you use will now remove ensnare and rooted effects from you. I suppose that is like the Morale 2 on the current version, which is good. No generation of adrenaline though. Dissipation Expert, whenever you use an ability that dispels afflictions, cripples, enchantments, or blessing, you will gain 15 adrenaline points for 3 seconds. 15 adrenaline points per second for 3 seconds. Good for all the healing classes that can remove those kind of things. Loved by all, you always have immovable. Your mass is decreased by 2. So, oh, that is an interesting one. So you have permanently immovable if you put it on your slot. But you lose 2 mass, which means you may not be able to be controlled on the movement part, but you lose mass, so you become more susceptible to other types of crowd control. So you can do a little bit of a trade-off there. So these are all the examples that we have at the moment for the new adrenaline system. Some of the skills, the names will change, maybe the amount of adrenaline gain per second or the duration may change by the time the server launches. These are all the available information we have at this point. I would recommend you go through them, you see them, see what you like, what you don't like. And as always, guys, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe here. If you have any questions, if you have anything to comment, please leave it down below on the comment section. And if you're a dev and I said something wrong, please do feel free to correct me. Everything is new. I'm trying to get the information out there to people, so they are prepared, because your server is a brand new experience from the looks of things. Anyways, that's what we have for now. Stay tuned. I'm sure there'll be more information coming up in the upcoming weeks. I'll see you on the next video.